for each other. Like we said, sneaky, a first Sivir game here. We're going to see what these teams have for each other. Zuna was kind of pushed out. We'll keep an eye on him in the jungle. He's on one of his really last picks in the comfort pool for him.
Yeah, Vi is pretty much the only trick that you have to learn when jungling Vi is the Vault Breaker flash. Either Flash Vault Breaker or Vault Breaker Flash. As soon as you have that move down, then you're pretty much good to go because her R is targeted. And all you really have to do on that case is rely on team communication, and it's not so much individual.
Sweeper start here for Lemon Nation. Looks like Cloud9 usually not having too much ward control in the bottom lane, but they're switching that up this game.
Yeah, the sweeper early. Sometimes when we see the early sweepers, there's a lot of late invade potential for teams. Since they're not going up against something like Zyra or Annie, they could actually still go for that. But it doesn't look like they're making any moves early. Every time so far, though, that someone has started with a sweeper, we have seen a late invade.
Creeping down. Let's see what happens. I feel like ManCloud is going to get a little bit of aggression towards himself early game here. And Meteos and High to get High going on that Kha'Zix. We'll have to see.
Oh, they cornered him. They could get a summon.
Smithy's sleeping. He's going to have to blow his flash. No, he takes E first. Great weight on the skill choice there.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody nowadays just waits with their first skill because of situations exactly like that. If you level it up super early, then obviously you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Great sweeper already being used there as the trinkets go down as well. A few cleavers over to Balls, but he's going to be all right in that top lane. Also, something to watch out, Balls is quite focused in any game that he plays when he gets rumbles, but he always makes an impact. So we'll see if XDG tries to shut him down. And
you can see what he was doing in the early game here. Even before minions had spawned, he's spamming his flame spitter so that he can keep the heat up. Keep it in that perfect zone between 50% and 100% so he gets the extra damage.
It's a little bit more of trying to keep active, and they do go. The level 2 gank coming in. Since when has this happened? And they're going to go hard on ManCloud. The Ignite's down already, and they get the aggression.
They changed 2 flashes, though, for only a single flash of Mandatory Cloud. And the Ignite down for High. That was a lot of summoners spent. They did gain the advantage of the map here, though. This is synergy between, and we don't like to use that word too much, but this is between the jungler and the mid laner. This is why all the mid laners talk about...
Oh, the E-hook! Bet you wish he flashed on that one. Looks like he's going to be safe for the time being, but Barrier's blown down there, and he's blinking.
Yeah, and he had to pop his first health potion, so that's a huge win for them. Also, look at the CS he's down. 2 to 12 at the moment, plus there's 1 on Lemon Nation. Shoving in very early with Sivir, extremely common because she can do it so well.
Hooks all day. Good damage on the W and the Q. Boomerang coming out. They have aggression, so much aggression in every lane. Calling Zuna down to the bottom while they're invading the top side. These guys are just working perfectly.
Now, Lee Sin is a great jungler to choose if you're going to go aggressive in all your lanes like this. Balls, you could see, since he's so much AoE damage and he was charging that heat, he's going super aggressive, shoving up top lane. Bottom lane, Sivir lane, also going to be shoving up. And then Meteos makes his visit in mid. So they effectively shove every single lane up, and they can take advantage of Lee Sin's extreme early game power.
Looks like they may be trying to get a counter in mid here. Zuna just waiting. Bated breath sitting on the heels of ManCloud. ManCloud just forcing that wave into the turret, trying to choke out High so he can't get anywhere. Meteos seeing the same thing in the bottom lane. Smithy trying to put some damage down, and again, it could be some focus here. High, he kind of put the towel on. He goes very hard with vision already. Zuna is there to back him up, and it's not going to be enough to take down either kill.
So since both flashes were down, it's an easy lane to go back to. That's the all-in potential from Kha'Zix we were talking about. He can land a slow, and at this point, it's enough to make Mandatory Cloud act on defensive maneuvers, and they get the flash out of the jungler there. Zuna had to flash over Wraith walls, so they've evened up the summoner count.
As you mentioned that before, Ball's doing a great job of keeping that heat up. It kind of makes Rumble a champion you have to always keep your mind focused on. You're doing something else all the time, but he's doing it very well. 5 minutes, Meteos still inside of Zuna's jungle.
So that's the early game power of Lee Sin we talked about. You make the gank, even though they don't get a kill, because they took so much health from XDG. He's able to go in for the invade, taking away the big camp. You can see why he didn't bother with the Wraith, because the Wraith will just, or the White will just respawn since there's no babies.
We'll see where Meteos goes from here. He looks like he's trying to get the job done in mid lane so far. Bottom lane is pushed back now in favor of XDG as they try to suffocate Cloud9 against the turret, but Sneaky's farming quite well still, 36-22 in that lane.
Yeah, they start off immediately shoving that lane up and got a good amount of CS out of it, plus harass under turret. At this early stage in the game, it's actually much more effective to go for harass under the turret against the enemy team while they're trying to CS than to do turret damage, because you gain so much more power in the lane by doing that.
They might actually try to go for this. Ball's not getting 6 off that last minion. They go to Benny. Benny's got the ignite down. Meteos first blood and safeguards out.
Really sweet move behind him, and they also had a ward here pass, so they were looking for Zuna before they made that gank happen. And since he went around the back and saw no Zuna in the area, that's why they were confident to go for the dive. Mundo is pre-6, and they have the execute with Lee Sin.
Good choice here. I thought Zuna was going to head to the lane, but they keep it safe, and he goes back. We got a teleport in from Benny, and we'll see if he can keep the farm in that lane up. It's already balls at a 40-30, so he's got a 10 CS lead.
And you can see Meteos has not gone back to his own side of the jungle. He's making plays on XDG's side of the map and just roaming back and forth from solo lane to solo lane.
You can see this coming in already, and Cloud9 seems like they're doing it patiently. High maybe feeling a little bit of stress now. That last shot from E, no. Wears off on Kale, and ManCloud cannot get the kill.
Meteos probably going to have to soak up some of these minions as well, as High really needs to go
a little
back.
lane tax, why not?
Very dangerous to lane tax against a champion like Kale. A lot of mid champions are going to have a huge advantage over junglers in the early game just because of the range. So you have to be careful not to lose too much health.
Meteos
Smite
waiting,
Wars.
trying to get it out. It looks like they call Lemon Nation up. He does start to roam at this time of the game. And he's just going to throw on a little bit of pressure. Looks to maybe sweep out some wards.
Wow,
if
they
we
let
can
him
get
back.
him up here. He'll get sweep on that one. Very nice.
They let Mandatory Cloud go back to base there. I mean, Lemon was just trying to delay Zuna so that they can get people in position for this blue invade. That might be the reason why they let Mandatory Cloud recall, but it looks like High is going to just try and shove that wave in and make them lose out on CS. Very dangerous, actually, to fight in the XDG jungle without preemptive wards. Since he hasn't made an early path to that side of the jungle, it's too dangerous.
Being safe. Grabbing his red. Looks like High is trying to pressure that mid lane and get it pushed up. Meteos is actually going to be taking the red for himself as High pushes that. So we'll see if they can get the gank for the bottom lane possibly coming in. We saw Lemon Nation with that sweeper, and he is everywhere right now, and he's been hitting hooks. And this time it's just for the walk-on.
Yeah, so a lot of junglers complain of when all their lanes are pushed up, how it makes it hard to gank, but there's a lot of different advantages. You just have to play the game a little bit differently when all your lanes are pushed up. Take advantage of invades at that point, and take advantage of letting your support roam, because your AD carry is able to wave clear so easily. They get sort of another man on the map, and you have to make moves elsewhere.
It looks like those moves could be made towards the bottom side. Zuna at half health. XDG begins to consider this dragon. This could be very dangerous.
Really, really dangerous. They have to back off from this one because the rest of C9 are collapsing.
The teleport is not up for Mundo, so they won't get him. And Balls looks like he's going to be staying in the top lane. So those two keep it going. Benny has gotten himself up in CS. His Balls went to back as well. So he's closed that lane a bit. High trying to put on the aggression in mid lane, and this actually could lead to an eventual dragon.
Wow, they got the ultimate already. So intervention is down, but I don't think that C9 will force a dragon because there's a teleport Mundo who's, well, he's burned his teleport already. Then they could force dragon. Just kidding. He had to burn it to get back to lane.
Right. But Meteos, still, in the jungle, I think he's got a year pass to this thing right now because he really has not left it. And he's going to go ahead and take this once again, and he is making life for Zuna very hard. In Champion Select, they took away his champions, then they took his Lee Sin and put him on bye.
And you have to give the rest of Cloud9 credit too. Counter-jungling is not a jungler's responsibility only. It's a responsibility of the whole team. You guys all have to work together. The solo lanes have been collapsing. Even the support roamed all the way up to that red before and placed a couple wards. This is a team activity here, counter-jungling. We saw it first from Gambit, where Darien would help Diamond so much in the counter-jungling. It's a very similar style here from Cloud9 coming out, where everybody's taking part.
Ooh, looking to get the Lantern in. Still going for the hook. They had enough damage to get that down under the turret, and possibly get out in time, but the miss, it deters him.
You could see the communication, though, and the roam from balls. He had made it all the way down to mid lane, too. So if there had been a fight to break out right here, even if there was a counter gank ready, Cloud9 were already in position to collapse every single person on their team, sans Sneaky.
Sneaky himself, looks like he backed a little under 1,000 gold, got himself that pickaxe. He's got Zerkers just building himself up. Looks like he's getting pushed back, though. We'll see what he has to do. Kind of building for the team in that armor pen.
Yeah, he's
getting on the hunt for the fights.
Yeah, exactly. And also Lemon is building for the team, too. You know, picking up that coin, both him and Leona are looking for the speed boost later. So this Cloud9 team is really going to be a strong team fight brawling team. As usual, they like to fight a lot more out in the open around objectives because they really do not have great range on any of their champions.
Sneaky's been doing a great job. He was quite up in CS, but we saw the roam from Lemon, and he's pretty much even in CS now, so still faring well in that. Great job. Zuna is trying to get himself in for the counters now, but Meteos says no.
That right there is why I'm such a huge proponent of defensive pink wards. Defensive pink wards take 5 hits to kill. If they're on your own side of the jungle, they're very easy to get to and defend.
High has been showing aggression all game. Meteos looks to piggyback on this one. The intervention goes down.
They burn the teleport, though.
Teleport is burned once again and stopped.
Right,
he just decides to go to top lane.
So he will have a shorter cooldown on it, but it will not be available again if they do decide to force that dragon. I still don't think that they'll go for it, though.
No, Meteos is on the top side. Actually, Balls is getting a roam on right now. His lane's fully pushed. This might just be for ManCloud.
Could be, because they know they burned everything off ManCloud in that last aggressive dive.
Oh, they throw it down. It's going to be missing. The red carpet, really nobody wants to take it on this one, but they get the kill. ManCloud shut down in mid.
So Balls is usually just spot on with his ultimates, but even though he misses that one, follows it up with the flash. They go all out on that gank, and then it's a safe dragon. Having taken down ManCloud, they know that they need to grab this one because Mundo's shoving as hard as he can in the top lane, and they want to let Balls get back there to defend it before Benny can actually take the turret down. It's past 8 minutes, so that extra champion reduction damage is gone on the mid and top turrets.
ManCloud, a very big heart of this XDG team, and any team, opposing team that plays against XDG will go for the heart immediately. You got to watch out. Those penguin jackets will get you killed sometimes. 13 minutes on the clock. Bloodwater doing what he can, also building up the coin, so they have their own bit of initiation, which really we have not been able to see yet. The dragon still waiting.
Dragon is not waiting. Dragon is dead as something that's dead.
Something that's dead.
Your fish, your pet fish from when you were 5. Sorry to bring that back up, Ruth.
Damn.
That was too soon. I'm sorry. 20 years is not
24
enough.
years later, it still hurts. 2K gold in favor of Cloud9. Probably that dragon that's pretty dead right now. And we see a lot of the CS is quite even. ManCloud, although dying in lane, he is up 10 CS, but the kill to high is allowing that kill potential to as well. Just keep shutting ManCloud down. And I'm sure that blue buff is looking pretty juicy for him right now, and they might want to take it.
Yeah, blue buff is definitely big for both these teams. Look at the bait in that Sneaky was trying to pull off right there. Meteos really wanted to come in for that one, but XDG did not actually go for the tower dive.
Like Cloud9 going mining, 2 pickaxe. We got one for high, one for
Balls is
Sneaky.
getting really deep in enemy territory here. He's going to get sandwiched.
Ooh, he's pinched.
He has no flash.
Pinched. Right over the pink ward. There goes the assault battery. Is there going to be some excessive force? Yes, there is. The vault breaker as well. ManCloud swinging swords. The blue buff coming through with big time. The slow and Benny. Benny's going to get a little business on the briefcase.
You have to call him out because that was one of the rotations that you can really, really cost your team.
Yeah.
He did not have the jungler to back him up. He's so used to Lee Sin always being in this top red side jungle that he can go for that path. But since there's a ward here already from Benny, they catch him out. And a really good capitalization there by XDG.
Nice hit. I believe the ultimate there was quickly used by High to push them off. It was Sneaky pulling out the solar flare in the bottom lane. His barrier is down after that engagement. Looks like Lemon Nation's here to provide a little bit of aid.
That roam from Balls really cost them there. Enabled the top turret to actually go down since it was so weak from the early dragon.
We've seen they all still have an effect in these late game team fights, and more so than often. Balls comes through huge. It looked like he got killed 5 times in lane, or did get killed 5 times, and he'll come up and kill your whole entire team in the next fight. Cloud9 is always one you have to worry about. They got magic tricks up their sleeve.
All right, High's going deep, but ManCloud has intervention.
Here's one of those magic tricks right now. Who's got the rabbit in their hat? It's going to be the intervention, but not enough. Coming in a little too late again. It won't be canceled this time. And that might be Rumble grabbing the top turret for C9.
All right, it's going to be a long cooldown for Benny, but XDG is making a good switch here. They're calling up Zuna, even though they lost their mid laner. They're trying to make the best of a bad situation. Yep. Rotate to cover every single lane and try not to lose out on CS while ManCloud's down.
Meteos having an impact on Lee Sin. It's slower than usual. It's usually the assist to him, as we have said, but a lot of the kills weren't finished off on ManCloud in the mid lane, which kind of slowed them down. Usually we see Cloud9 taking off a little faster than this, but they've been kind of pushed off of these kills. Zuna's been holding on to ManCloud. Their synergy is growing a little bit. Yeah,
the 1-2 punch from Cloud9 in mid has been pretty strong, but Zuna's been doing his best to stop it. We saw him defend a couple of them, and Kale, very hard to take down because of the intervention. So it's extremely hard to finish off those kills, and you have to make a lot of repeat visits. Yeah, that's a slow fight.
Very slow. Slappy slow fight. Looking one turret down on the side of XDG. They've only opened up the top side of the map, so that's for Benny to use right now. It's not going to give him a whole lot of pressure. We'll see what they can do with it. 1 minute and 40 seconds for that dragon, and I don't think that teleport's going to be up.
Yeah, it's really too bad that he burned that one without getting anything back, because the next dragon that does come up, that could have been a huge advantage for XDG. That's the game that they're trying to play, looking for the long haul and looking for the advantage from their teleport in the top lane. Because it's burned, though, he's just going to have to ward up deep in that blue side jungle, and if Cloud9 go for another dragon, then he's going to try and pressure the secondary turret there. And they can even call for blue steals, which is really strong against the Kazakhs.
Or on the hunt, they lock it down. Bloodwater tries to throw it on the shield. He goes for the fade away. Solari, oh my gosh, that's Xmithy going down. A great grab in the death sentence. Very nice try on the solar flare. 2 kills, though, coming up for sneaking on Sivir.
And XDG answer mid. They're making the call to try and shove down 2 turrets here.
This is going to be big. But it's not stopped by Cloud9 either, Kobe. They are going for that bottom lane quite hard. They do have Sivir. It's not Xmithy in the mid lane, but they have ManCloud. They're able to drop down these turrets quite easy.
Yeah, they get the second one down there. That's a really, really big point of control for them now. They have much control of the blue side jungle. They can actually set up that blue steal I was prepping. Now, this 3-man squad from C9 might have a tricky time getting out, because XDG are heading them off. But the AD carry and support are fairly far behind.
He gets him! The boomerang comes in beautifully. He throws down the Hail Mary on himself. Balls is right in there. His equalizer is down, and they find themselves in a jungle fight with not much vision. Calling just tearing through the right side of the team. Sneaky comes up with the first kill, and XDG cannot find their way out of this fight. A double kill coming in for High, and I think they're going to end it on that one.
High with the double hop out there to escape. He goes all the way to the back line after intervention wears off to take down ManCloud, and his team prepped up the second kill for him so he could get the reset. Turns it into a dragon. That's a huge swing for Cloud9.
Benny getting a little antsy. He wanted to get a few more attacks in. They do put down a pink ward, but it's a little too late. Let's see what happened here.
So this was actually prepped. Cloud9 follow the 3-man squad of XDG and cut them off. What a beautiful hook from Lemonation to start this off. And then, since Cloud9 just all go aggressive at the same time here, they get the early advantage in the fight, and XDG trying to answer. There's the High jumping into the back. On the bottom screen there, get Bloodwater low enough for the second kill, and High gets to escape easily. He was just level 11.
Using the vision of that fight perfectly, and like you said, Bloodwater did a great job there. He was peeling 3, but the assassination of High is very strong right now from the early game help that Meteos gave him.
Right, so that whole series of events was really prepped by Balls following very close on XDG after they retreated from the turret.
Better be following close now.
Man.
Bloodwater on the backside. Oh, are you going to leave Syndrome? Do it! Everybody wants you to. He's not going to hit it. It wears off.
They get the hook,
Bloodwater, though. That is a death sentence to Hail Mary coming in from Kale. And it looks like they save one. Oh, he goes for the second one, but he gets knocked up. A great Vault Breaker pops him, but the turret damage is being aggroed separately across Cloud9 champions. Somehow they're all still alive, and they're not even losing that much health. No, they don't go for another kill. Everybody calm down.
High's still alive. He's so close. No, I got him.
Where's he coming from? He teleports into the backside. Benny's already in the fight. Save him is on. What? Lemon Nation coming up with the flay damage and the kill onto Smithy. They get the boomerang, but it's Meteos coming up with the kill. Shutdown onto Benny.
Having sort of flashbacks to Worlds here where SKT goes straight up the mid. They just get kill after kill after kill. But man, all right, we started off with a hook from Lemon Nation, as usual. And Sneaky able to follow it up with great harass. As soon as High sees these low health bars, he goes right in for it. Beautiful flash from Bloodwater to get out of the way there. And another hook from Lemon Nation right there. The play as well. They're able to chase down 2, 3, and a third hook from Lemon Nation. They don't go for the kill, though, because of Benny teleporting in the back. He was able to finish off High. And then they turn it around with balls with the roam and a fourth hook from Lemon Nation landing in a fight.
Kobe, there's a reason he has had 4 games on Thresh and he has 4 wins on Thresh. Lemon Nation pulling out big plays for his team, bringing the exhaust as well for these fights to make sure that there isn't anybody getting zeroed out. So they even have countermeasures to the attacks.
That was a pretty good series of events for Cloud9. They got 2 of the mid turrets after that. So they were able to answer the first play that XDG made, and now they've equaled out the map control here, and they've actually even surpassed XDG because they can invade both sides.
Well, XDG has split the middle of the map wide open here, as well as Cloud9. We'll see if they use that to get into the buffs. They use that for this vision. We already see a lot more sweepers coming out for Cloud9, so they're going to control the map no matter what.
They definitely want to press their advantage. Bahai gets caught.
That's the kill they want. Where's the follow-up, though? They both turn away from that, not knowing where the rest of the team is. This is not having that vision. Oh, right on to High in the back line. A great job by Zuna, but is he too far? Benny trying to walk off on the red carpet, and Balls is going to give him a welcome home here. It doesn't let him go anywhere. Benny stays in, but he's still alive for some time now. Going down with ManCloud at the same time. Those guys, they go down as brothers.
Yeah, chasing that deep there, XCG have to have everyone on the retreat after they kill High, and losing 2 more members means that Cloud9 can actually knock at the inhibitor turret doors.
Meteos' build went from that ancient Spirit of the Golem into the Giant's Belt into the Moby Boots, things he can initiate for his team with and make things like this happen.
So I talked about in the early game how Cloud9 really likes to have the early game upper hand, but they've also built for this mid-game push. You can see Sivir going with the Last Whisper plus Bloodthirster build first, very early. Yeah. That's amazing wave clear as well as turret damage. So they're really hitting their power spikes very hard at this time in the game. That's why they're looking so dominant. They have Balls with his number 1 and 2 item combo, and then the same thing with Sneaky here. They're really, really hitting the peak right now, and they need to make the most of it. One inhibitor down is huge. It
was interesting the way Sneaky bought everything as well. He didn't change the longsword into a scepter right away. He had the pickaxe, and then he had the BF sword. It was like only damage. If it doesn't work on, the money doesn't equal damage, I'm not going to buy it right now.
Exactly. Want as much output as he can get, because once they catch somebody, they pop on the hunt, and they don't let anyone get away. XDG try and save some members that get caught, only makes more people go down in the end.
It's one of the biggest boys on your team right now, XDG, and he is taking quite a bit of damage from the Assassinator. That is High onto Kha'Zix. Benny getting seen again. What that tells them, though, is their jungle is completely warded.
And here, the sweepers are coming into play for Cloud9. As we said, they want to press this advantage that they have, since this is such a huge spike for them. And they're trying to get much more control than just that mid-inhibitor down.
Well, we got the Hex Drinker. Hydra finished up onto High. His mid lane comparison is on that. Nashor's and the Sheen. High looking to get a quick attack in there that would really cause the fight to go in their favor. Looking for a quick power play here, but they cannot find it. They're forced to wait a little bit longer.
XCG fans need to hope for the team to be able to stall at this point. They really are looking to get to the point where Mundo's very, very tough to kill at the end game. He needs another item. And ManCloud needs to be able to get his Lich Bane. Once that's complete, then they'll have the chance where they can shoot high down out of the air very quickly. But
take him down before he hits the ground.
They have to buy time for that to happen, and they need a lot of time.
I don't feel like Cloud9 has even used all the tricks in their bag right now with this top turret going down. They also grab Dragon, omnipresent, in control of everything.
Almost the whole map is blue right now.
Yeah.
All lanes are shoved up. Both sides of the jungle are warded perfectly, and they go for the Baron. They have Lee Sin, so it's a very easy execute for them. Also, Kha'Zix with the isolation damage means they can burn through it really fast. And XDG have to be very careful about checking this. This is where Scrying Orb would come into play.
They're walking right through everything. We see the Baron goes down. There's the hook from Lemon Nation. He just hits that one to increase the amount that he's hit.
Percentage,
yeah, absolutely.
Hit percent for Lemon off the charts.
Kobe, that gold, 47,000 to, we'll say 35,000. Still an astronomical lead to have at 25 minutes. And XDG is going to need a miracle at this point.
They really do. As we said, stalling, they're going to have to stall for a very, very long time if they want to draw this one back to even playing ground. But the reason Cloud9 got that Baron so easy is because of the massive map control that they prepped it with. All 3 lanes shoved all the way up into the base of XDG, out at the Nexus turrets. And then both sides of the jungle perfectly warded.
We'll see what they can keep doing. Cloud9 did a really great job just out of picks and bans in this. Kayle and Lucian are the only 2 champions that XDG has found a win on with the composition they have together. So they made sure they were on champions that weren't exactly the top tier of comfortable for XDG. 48,000 to 35 as Cloud9 increases that a few thousand for every 500 that XDG is getting right now. They have so much control of the map and really go whatever they want right now.
So we have a bit of armor on Meteos at this point, on Lee Sin. And since he's such a mobile champion, if they do go for a dive, he can start it off. And then if he gets low, he can safeguard out or something like that, or kick somebody to the back. But really, the fights at the side inhibitor turrets are really what's going to determine if this game stalls out at all or if Cloud9 can finish it off. Because the mid inhibitor is pretty much a given. You have to give that up. Can't fight Cloud9 in the open. But at a turret, XDG want to make their stand right now. This is where they want to fight, and this is the test here for Cloud9. If they can actually pull this dive off, or if they can just zone and get down the turret, this turret will go down extremely fast. As we said, Sneaky has gone with a very, very high early damage build here. They can take down the turret quickly.
Well, XDG has found a way to tiptoe outside their base. They have placed a few wards here and there. They have a pink down on Dragon that'll eventually be taken. Lemon Nation trying his hand at a quick hook over the shoulder. Misses out, but all of XDG stands in front of you now. The fact that Benny has teleport isn't doing any good.
And we have to watch Ball's ultimate right now because the Kayle ulti can save one person, but if Balls lands his Rumble ult onto several members of XDG, then that forces ManCloud to choose between one of his teammates' lives and his own life, which is very, very difficult choice for Kayle. And if he makes the wrong choice, High is going to execute him and hop right back out.
And once that happens, there's so many things to be dodging. A boomerang bling, like you said, the equalizer coming through, Lee Sin's kicking, missiles from Kha'Zix. There's the coin, and it looked like to get on the hunt as well. They do throw it. ManCloud's the focus, but he gets the self-intervention. He gets hit down. Lemon Nation, another kill in the game, and it's going to be Sneaky coming up with leave a third for himself. He has been good. No, he's 6-0-9 on the game. It's not going to matter, though. The inhibitor's falling, and I believe they're going to take these Nexus turrets.
All right, so Balls was actually the point man there, and he was able to take up the turret. Good execution from Cloud9. They finished the game off clean.
29 minutes into this one, 18-3, a huge gold lead for Cloud9, and it does not look like they've been phased by any of the losses.
Yeah, they go right back to the classic Cloud9 that we know from 2013. Dragon fights really turned it around for them. They used the Rumble extremely effectively. Even though Kayle was on the opposing team, High worked around it perfectly, going for the executes, keeping track of the timer on intervention, and even getting to the back line.